his levels of manipulation are extraordinary, because even behind bars, he is still controlling the situation.
He thinks he is, yeah. He thinks this is his moment to shine. I mean, he's that deluded, and he feels like he's that much in control.
Yeah.
That actually, although the adrenaline, I suppose, of the terror of the situation will dawn on him, at the same time, he thinks he's got his barrister around his little finger. He thinks he's got Mel around his little finger. He thinks he's going to stop Bethany from even getting to court. Yeah.
And how low will he go to stop Bethany going to court?
Because
so Mel appeared on the scene because she was begging for sort of refuge. She said she'd escaped the same gang.
Yeah.
She hadn't at all. Of course, she was working with you. You were sort of, I mean...
Yeah, it's hard for Mel, it really is, yeah. I mean, the whole journey for Bethany going to court is going to be a big thing. I mean, it's fraught with danger. And I think Mel is definitely part of that, but also she's caught in the web as well.
Yes, yeah.
Well, as Holly said, he is this master manipulator, and you spoke to a police inspector about that, didn't you? What did you learn? What have you learned about these sort of people?
Well, I was sort of put in touch very early on with victims, particularly, but also with social services and police, people who deal with these sort of people. I mean, the thing I've learned most about is just how the consequences of his crimes actually stick with people for their whole lives, or can have a massive effect on people for the whole of their lives, and how it affects them.
And the power that they have over their victims.
Yeah.
There are people who were desperate to visit their abuser in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, you still have cases where people are in prison and then somebody else is in care, but writing to them saying, when you get out, we'll be married, yeah?
Oh,
I mean, it's that sort of, you get into somebody's hardwire in their head, and you make them think that you're in love with them, they're in love with you. They sort of rely on you, or Bethany relies on Nathan to exist. And it's that sort of level of cruel manipulation that can really scar people.
We should have a look at a clip from tonight, because this sort of gives a clue as to whether or not Bethany's even going to make it to trial. So let's have a look.
Finish it. Judge has arrived, but it looks like Bethany Platt's a no-show.
Well, now there's a surprise. You know what? You'd look good with a tan. You pop in next week, I'll sort you out a discount. At this rate, I'll be on by Monday.
He's not like the typical bad guy, lovable rogue, that sort of thing. No. You are allowed to despise this man.
I hope you do, yeah. I think we had to see initially why Bethany was interested in him, the attention and the affection that he poured on her. But right from word go, I wanted people to feel like they couldn't trust him.
Which means, for you, I mean, there's no turning this character around, is there? He's not going to suddenly get a job in the Rovers. This is it. Once you're done, whichever way that works out.
Yeah, the whole story's been through Bethany's eyes and will continue long after Nathan's gone. We're going to see, I think, how it affects her. But it has to be through her eyes. So, no, Nathan is not sticking around. Yeah.
And how have people reacted to you? I know your singing teacher is a bit wary now.
Yeah, no, actually, it's 100% been wonderful. The enthusiasm of Corrie fans, they just come up to you on the street and give you this energy. But particularly people who've been affected directly or witnessed the subject matter. But no, my singing teacher pulls me to one side and just takes a deep breath before taking me into the room, because she finds it all a bit nervous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you, I mean, this has sort of had a big impact on your life, because you're now ambassador for Voicing CSA. So this is Voicing Child Sexual Abuse.
Yes.
And they've got this is the mouse animation that you've been working on.
I came up with this idea. I mean, I wanted to, obviously, try and raise money, with that, which I did for the NSPCC, and I'm an ambassador for Bernardo's as well. But Phil Lafferty at Voicing CSA asked me to be a patron, and I wondered what it was that I could bring to the party, as it were. And so I came up with this idea of creating an animation with Slurpee Studios and a brilliant charity called Collage Arts, and they came on board straight away, spotting that what we could do is really help raise awareness of the independent inquiry.
Well, there has been criticism saying, "Oh, this is very dark pre-Watershed." But you disagree with that?
Yeah, I do actually, because by its nature, it's a family issue. There are are people of any age being abused, and it's not, as you said, it's not the sort of weird, creepy guy necessarily. It's somebody you might trust, or somebody you think you know, or somebody who can leverage in some way like the relationship with the family. So don't tell your mum, she'd be really upset, or this can be our little secret. You know, these are genuine lines that victims come back and tell us about when we're at the Voicing CSA meetings. This is stuff that people say to their victims, and their victims can be 6, they can be 8, they can be 18. It affects everybody. So I think Corrie have been brilliant in doing it in a pre-watershed way, because you can see it post-watershed as well, but it's bringing a conversation into the living room.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so
and following the story through in all its twists and turns, because early on there could have been the gravel trap, right, OK, let's kill him now, and then we're done, and that would be very clean, but you're happier that in actual fact this is being pursued.
Yeah, I think
for
so.
Whatever ended.
Yeah, I mean, it's still nowhere near its ending. I mean, whether or not it gets to court is a big thing. I mean, that's going to be a big thing for Bethany herself. The dog's still here. Yeah. But the actual, from beginning to end, you know, it's a long, long journey, and it will affect Bethany for the rest of her life.